Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm so excited that you've decided to join me for our beginner yoga video today. My name is Catherine and I run the Tullamore Alive Fitness channel. So with our beginner yoga sequence today, one thing that people often assume about beginner yoga is that it should be really gentle and really slow paced. So today we are going to move slow paced in order that you can really learn the moves, become familiar with them a bit. But we aren't only going to do gentle moves, but some strength moves as well. The goal of yoga is to feel fantastic in our body, to be able to move really freely. So I want to offer you a sequence that's not only going to teach you some of the moves that are really common in yoga classes, so you can go out and enjoy yourself in the world doing lots of other classes, but also it's going to help your body feel really good. So we're going to get some strength in our legs, we're going to have a little bit of a stretch. It should feel really awesome. So you won't need any props. If you have a mat, please grab it. And we're going to begin standing. So go ahead and go there now. Okay, so you have made your way to standing, already starting off strong. We're going to begin in mountain pose, which is just basically a conscious standing pose. So you're going to ground your feet. You'll hear this a lot in a practice, which basically means we're going to press our feet down into the mat, often spreading our toes to help us really activate those muscles in our feet. This will also help you bring a bit of activation into your legs, so our body's really soaking up that goodness from the ground. We're getting lots of activity. And then palms are going to face towards your front, or towards me if you're facing your screen. As you inhale, bring your shoulders up. And then as you exhale, really slot them down into your back or your shoulder blade spot. This is really important for a lot of the yoga poses we do, that we keep lots of space between our ears and our shoulders, so we'll practice this as we go throughout the day. And since this is yoga, not just a stretch class, we're going to integrate in some breathing. So I want you to, if you would like, close your eyes. You can keep them open if you prefer. And you're going to inhale, nice tall spine. And exhale, encourage those shoulders away from your ears again. You can inhale and exhale, just like that. So you can keep that activation in your feet and hands. Inhale and exhale. Let's do two more here. Inhale and exhale. Looking good. One more. Inhale and exhale, just like that. From standing in your mountain pose here, as you exhale, so as you breathe out, step your right leg back. We're coming into warrior one, so with that right foot or your back foot, you're going to slightly open it to around 45 to 25 degrees, finding a spot you feel like you can maintain here. Hands are going to begin at your hips. You're going to inhale yourself nice and tall. So I have a tall line all the way from the end of my tailbone up through the top of my head. And then you're going to turn your hips as much as you feel like you can today to face the front of your mat. Because we like to experience fun or muscle sensation when we're doing our yoga, I want you to ease into that front leg as much as you feel comfortable doing so. With your front knee, you want to leave it behind your front toes, so be mindful of that so we can protect our knees as we do this. And then maybe you're a little bit wobbly, not abnormal, a lot of stabilizers here. Sink into the pose, finding yourself in the mat, pushing your feet down into the ground, just like we did in mountain pose. We're going to take 3 breaths. If you want to add a little bit more of a stabilization challenge, you can inhale your hands overhead. Inhale, nice big breath through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. We have 2 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more, you got it. Inhale and exhale. Bring your hands down to your hips. You're going to turn your feet to the long edge of your mat. And they're both again at 45 degrees. And we are just going to wiggle down for a nice goddess squat, it's called. If you are in a bar class, this is your plie squat, a second position. And if you're in a fitness class, it's a sumo squat. So there's a lot of different names for this. See if you can sink a bit lower. Remember, we aren't doing much strength, but we do want to get some sensation in our legs. I know you're thinking, this is a disaster. What are we doing here? No, it's okay. Your legs are just growing stronger and you're building an awesome body. Keep going. We're going to do 2 breaths here. You're going to inhale and exhale. 1 more inhale and exhale. We're going to lift up so you can straighten your legs for a little rest. We are going to turn towards the other side of our mat, coming into warrior again, or warrior 1 again, on our other side. So you're going to sink into your front leg. So that time your right leg is going to be forward. Again, back leg is at 45 degrees. Turn your hips as much as you can. If you're wobbling, that's okay. You got this. Push your feet down into the mat. And if you would like, you're going to inhale those arms overhead. It is up to you. We're going to hold here 3 breaths. Ready? You're going to inhale and exhale. See if you can sink a little bit lower, keeping that tall line. We inhale and exhale. 1 more inhale and exhale. Bring those hands down if you have them lifted. Rotate to the long edge of your mat. Feet are both at around 45 degrees, and we're going to goddess squat one last time, okay? Yeah, just like that. So your knees are following your toes. Tall spine. We're going to hold here 2 breaths. So you can inhale. As you exhale, shoulders sink into their spot, practicing that good posture. Inhale and exhale. Bring those feet in, coming back to your mountain pose. So I promise that is the hardest thing we are going to do today, okay? So you've done the worst. Ground your feet, ground your hands. Inhale, lift your shoulders. Exhale, slot them back into place, just like that. We're gonna hold here for a few breaths, finding relaxation and good posture in our body. So remember, you inhale, your spine is tall. You can feel yourself growing up towards the sky. As you exhale, shoulders are going to slide into that good postural spot. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Yeah, you're doing great. Inhale again. And exhale. 1 more inhale. And exhale. You can give everything a little shake, whatever feels good. We are going to move to tree pose. I think this is a really fun pose and that you will enjoy it. Okay, we are going to bring our right foot, so my right foot. If you were reflecting, that'd be your left foot, but bring your right foot up here. Okay, for tree pose, we are rotating our hip open, and then we are placing our foot on our leg somewhere. So if you are new to tree pose, if you're building up your balance, you can start with your foot partially on the ground, just focusing on that opening like so. That's great. If you want, you can bring that foot up to rest on your shin or your inner thigh. I've also read some stuff that says no to it being on your knee joint, as well as stuff that says it's too gentle of a pressure to be a negative to be on your knee joint. So you decide what's best for your body here. Yeah, just like that, looking good. So with that standing leg, we are grounding again. Our shoulders are moved away from our ears, and we're really challenging all those little stabilizers. So if you were wobbly in warrior 1 pose, we are training some of those same stabilizers here in tree pose today. So if your bottom foot is getting tired, not abnormal, it's working really hard to keep you steady. And then if you feel like you are wobbling, like I just did, a tip is to pick a spot in the room to look at. If you are not wobbling and your balance is feeling really steady, try closing your eyes and lifting your arms makes it way harder. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more breaths here. Inhale, yeah, you got it. And exhale, 1 more. Inhale, and exhale. Let everything come down to the ground, giving your feet a little shake. So all you're going to do is you're going to lift up those heels, and we're just walking things out. Nice, just like that. Okay, we're going to move to our tree pose on the other side. So let's roll back our shoulders, bring them to where we want them to rest with that nice open chest. Again, really great posture. Your hands can be out like this to begin, or you can grab your foot to guide it. We are going to rotate open our left leg, and then if you would like, you can rest that foot there. You're still getting some balance benefits. Or if you want, you can bring that foot up a bit higher, wherever it's going to rest for you today. And then find that point that challenges you. So we want to improve, we want to be getting better, getting our body healthier all the time, wherever we're at today. So find that little quiver. It's okay not to be perfectly balanced in your tree pose. You can be a tree in the wind. Is not a bad thing. And then we're going to take some deep breaths here. Core is strong. We feel lots of length in our spine. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Again, you inhale. And exhale, finding even more stability. Let's go 2 more breaths. Inhale, if your arms are overhead, they're really reaching. And exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, everything comes back down. Find your way to mountain pose. Palms again face forward, you're grounding in your mat. And we're going to breathe deeply here. So inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let's go 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Nice job. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, if your shoulders allow, we are going to sweep our arms overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to come forward. If your shoulders are bothered by going overhead in a yoga class ever, feel free to bring them in front instead. We just want arm movement. Then with our knees, if you need to soften them a bit to touch the ground, that is fine. We're just looking for a stretch down the backs of our legs here. So this is a forward fold and is a key component of a lot of yoga classes. It's used in sun salutations, which we won't go over today, but are another staple of a yoga class, often depending on the type, as well as it often is our transition at baseline that brings us from standing to moving down to the ground. As you inhale, you're going to lift up to halfway lift. So this differs from forward fold because we have a nice tall spine here. So we're in a neutral position. So I'm not rounded, but I'm coming up nice long spine. And then on your next exhale, you're going to forward fold all the way, and we are going to come to down dog position. So spread those fingers wide. Step your feet back. You can keep a knee bend here. And we're going to walk out our feet as we come to our down dog. So when I first started doing yoga, something they tell you with down dog is that it's supposed to be a resting pose in between. But I remember when I started thinking that was the biggest lie, because it takes a lot of upper body strength to hold a down dog still, especially if we aren't doing activities like this regularly. So if this down dog, you can either keep walking out your feet, but if you need a little rest, bring your knees down to your mat. That's absolutely fine. As you hold here, see if you can take a few more breaths. And then you can come to hold it statically for just a few moments, focusing on your tailbone lifting. Heels are moving towards the ground, whether they're touching or not today. And you can decide here, different disciplines of yoga do different lengths of down dog, so you can decide how much space you want between your feet and your hands. We're going to hold 2 breaths. This is our last strength-based pose. So inhale and exhale one last time. You're going to inhale and exhale. Drop your knees down to the ground. And you give those hips a little wiggle. We've been doing a lot of strength-based stuff. I know, when is the gentle yoga going to start? Soon, very soon. Okay, come back to center. We're going to move through some cat-cow. So this is really good for your spine, for opening up your chest as well. Similar to in mountain pose, how we grounded our feet, you're going to ground your feet here, but this time it's the tops of your feet, as well as you're going to ground through your hands. So we want an active grip on the ground here. That's not only going to get more muscle activation, but by doing so, it also helps protect our wrists. So your knees are below your hips, wrists are below your shoulders. We are stacking our joints on top of each other for more strength and support. As you exhale, so you breathe out, round your back, dropping your tailbone, head is heavy. And then as you inhale, you are going to lift your chest, lift your tailbone, just like that. Exhale, you are going to round. And inhale, you are going to lift. And while this breathing might feel counterintuitive, again, exhale to round. It does facilitate a deeper expression of the pose. Inhale, lift, in which our body is able to move more freely. Exhale, again, push your hands into your mat. Head and tailbone are heavy. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your tailbone. Let's do a few more. Push into your mat, you exhale. And then inhale, feel your chest lift. Exhale, push away. Inhale, lift. Chest lifting in between your arms. Last one, we are going to exhale, push away. Hands are still pressing into the mat. And inhale, lift. And come back to center. Taking a few movements side to side, whatever feels good here. You're going to walk your knees a little bit wider, so now they are not stacked under your hips, bringing your feet together, and we are going to sit our bum back towards our heels in a child's pose, reaching our arms forward. If your knees are tight or your hips are tight, or there's a lot of tightness in this area, this might not be an accessible pose for you today. So what you're going to do, you have 2 choices. If you really are set on doing this pose, you can find a few cushions and slip them under your bum. Or your alternative is to come to laying on your back, where you are going to hug your knees to your chest, but bringing them a bit wider with feet together. So this is your alternative pose to child's pose. It's really important that when you're in a yoga or a fitness class, that you're looking after your own needs. So if you need a modification for the pose and it hasn't been offered, make sure you either ask or move to a different position that just feels better for you. So find your variation of child's pose today, and we are going to breathe deeply. If you are laying face down on your mat, so in traditional child's pose, one benefit of that option is you're going to have more pressure on your front body, which helps you to relax. If you're laying on your back, one way you can add a bit more benefit is if you would like, you can bring a gentle rocking motion in so you get a bit of massage on your spine. Whichever one you are doing today is great. Continue to breathe here deeply. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. We're going to hold here for 3 more really deep breaths. So you're going to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. One more time, we inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. On your next inhale, you're going to make your way to tabletop position or hands and knees. So where we began before we did our cat-cow. And we are going to get a bit of a stretch here in the bottoms of our feet by going into hero pose. So hero pose varies how it feels for people, depending on how tight your feet are. So be gentle with yourself as we explore this here. So your toes, you can tuck them on the mat, and it's important, we want to include all our toes. So if your pinkies are like mine and they don't make it, encourage them to be part of the team, okay, with your hands if need be. Then what we're going to do is we are going to lean back, moving our bum towards our heels till we get a good sensation or stretch in the bottoms of our feet. So it might be here today, it might be a little bit more up. We're just looking for a good stretch, not any particular expression of it in order for this to be valuable. Ideally, your feet are going to come to be in alignment with each other. If you have a stiff toe or an injury, you might find that you might have to change your foot position a little bit to accommodate for that. And then whichever variation you are doing, since this is hero's pose, we want to embody that heroic nature. So you're going to inhale a nice tall spine. Okay, again, where are those shoulders? Away from your ears, whatever variation you are doing. We're going to hold here for 2 breaths. So you can inhale, again, tall spine. Exhale, soft shoulders. Inhale, tall spine. And exhale, soft shoulders. Hands come back down to the mat. They are nice and active. You're making the most of your yoga time today. You can untuck your toes. If you'd like, take a little swish of your hips side to side. And we are going to move to a seated position on our mat. Okay, so we have made our way to seated position. If your hips are tight, this might not be a very sustainable position for you. You might not feel like it's comfortable to sit in for a long time. So if you want to, again, you can place a cushion under your bum, lifts your hips a little bit higher than your knees and can be more comfortable or more sustainable. Otherwise, we are going to bring our feet together with our bum on our mat, and we are going to match our pinky edge side of our feet together. So this is our butterfly or cobbler's pose. It really opens up our hips, which is great for our bodies. As we do this, so we have our pinky side aligned, you're going to allow your big toe side to open up, drawing your heels towards you until you're getting that good stretch in your hips. And same principles apply. We're trying to improve our posture, improve the way our body feels. So you're going to inhale, tall spine, having that stacked alignment. Everything is on top of each other. And then as you exhale, shoulders are going to slide away from your ears. Maybe your knees soften a bit towards the ground. Again, inhale. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. And exhale, shoulders soften. Again, we're going to go inhale and exhale. 2 more times here. Inhale and exhale. One last time. Inhale and exhale. As you exhale, you can release your stretch, bringing your legs to a cross-legged position, which often is more comfortable. We are going to sit up tall. This next pose isn't necessarily always super common in a class, but it should hopefully feel really good for your body. You're going to take one ear, doesn't matter which one, drop it down towards your shoulder, opening up on the other side of your neck. And as we hold here, again, our same breathing applies. We're going to inhale, tall spine, and exhale that ear down to our shoulder. Continuing on that pattern of keeping that ear dropped, but still having length in our body. And then with your hands, you have a few choices. You can leave them resting on your knees, so that's supposed to help ground you or keep you present in the moment. You can lift them up, so that your hands are more open to receiving good things. Or if you would like, you can look at this purely from a physical stretch perspective, and you can take your palms down towards your mat and you ease those fingers up to the ceiling. Deepens that stretch, especially with this arm here. So whichever you would like, whatever you want to get out of your yoga practice, please go ahead and choose. Take a few more deep breaths. Let's go for 2. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Again, we inhale through our nose and exhale through your mouth. Come back up to a nice neutral spine. You can give your shoulders a little shake. Did you like how we inhaled through our nose there and then exhaled through your mouth? I don't know what happened with the descriptors there. I feel like something was lost a bit. Okay, again, let's inhale together through our nose here. As we exhale, you're going to drop your ear, other shoulder. So we're bringing that balance to our body. Nice long side of your neck here. And then again, make your decision with your hands. What do you want to get from this stretch or this yoga pose? Again, we inhale, we have a tall spine as your reminder. Exhale, shoulders move away from our ears. Just like that, breathing deeply, focusing on the sensation in your body, especially on the side of your neck. Let's take 3 more breaths together. You're going to inhale and exhale, shoulders soften. Again, inhale and exhale. One last time, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you can slowly make your way back to center. Give everything a little shake. We are going to move down to our mats. We have 3 poses left before we finish our practice. So make your way to laying on your back, please. Once you make it to your back, draw your knees in towards your chest. We're really going to begin here now, slowing down our bodies, our breath, really relaxing into this moment. As you rock a bit side to side with your knees, see if you can draw in that deep breath here. Breathing is such a large part of yoga, not only as a way to coordinate your movements with your breath, but also it makes a huge difference in how your body feels. So even on a base level, when we breathe deeply, we're going to get that relaxation of our parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to make a huge difference in how we experience stress. and our daily life as we currently know it. So take the time for that breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And even though breathing is something we do daily, breathing deeply, or in yoga classes, is something we get better at with practice. So don't be discouraged if the breathing is taking a bit of work for you today. On your next inhale, draw your right knee towards your chest. You can either leave your left foot on the ground or extend it all the way. It's completely up to you. And even though we are laying on our back here, we're still going to encourage a long spine and those shoulders away from our ears. Breathing deeply as we hold it. Feeling your body become softer and more relaxed with each breath. As you inhale, draw your left knee back to center, squeeze both legs before exhaling that right foot either down towards your mat or that right leg extended. You decide here what works best for you. And again, our spine is tall here, so you can imagine that length. And as we exhale, our shoulders are soft. Maybe you feel your eyes are heavy or closed. Taking a few more breaths in this position, nice and slow, thoughtful. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. On your next inhale, you can draw both knees back towards your chest. As you exhale, allow those knees to fall to your left side, encouraging your right shoulder towards the mat. Doesn't matter if your right shoulder makes contact or not. We're just looking for a good twist in our spine or some sensation in that area. And if this posture or this twist is really uncomfortable for you, a few things you can do are play with how bent your legs are here. So sometimes bending them in different configurations can help, so you can play with that a bit. Or if you need, again, you could prop between your knees with a pillow or behind your back. If you have this space and you would like to widen through your chest a bit, you can wing your arms out to the side. Continuing to soften your breath, enjoying these last few moments here. And then as you inhale, you can draw your knees back to center, hugging them towards you, before exhaling them down to your other or your right side. Again, encouraging that opposite shoulder or that left shoulder down towards the ground. If you feel pain in your hip or your knees, try again changing up the position of your twist here. Spreading your arms wide out to the side if you have the space to help open up your chest. inhale, you can come back to center. So most yoga classes end in a shavasana or your resting pose, so you can spread out on your mat however you are comfortable doing so. This, laying like so, is a traditional shavasana, but I really believe you should do what works and feels best for your body. So if there's another way you want to end practice today, feel free to take it. Often shavasanas will last for 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit less. Today we're just going to do about a minute, just laying here peacefully before we finish our practice. On your next inhale, you can bring some sensation back into your body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, becoming aware of your breath. I sometimes like taking a big reach overhead, rolling to one side. Giving yourself a few moments there. And then ever so slowly pushing yourself up to a nice seated position, taking your time. So most yoga classes finish with a namaste, where you bring your hands to your heart center, up to your forehead, and lean forward. This doesn't necessarily have a religious connotation with it. It's more with the intention of your recognizing sort of the soul or the essence of the other person. I think maybe it translates to the light in me recognizes the light in you. So thank you for joining me today, you guys. I know it's not easy necessarily trying something new or taking the time for physical activity, but I really appreciated your effort and the time we spent together. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and namaste. Bye.